So this story is about a boy who was living his normal life as usual, but one day, suddenly a lot of light appears in front of him and he gets summoned into another world. There he receives an Appraiser skill, and in that world, the Appraiser skill is considered the most useless. So what will happen in his life next? To know that, you'll have to watch the full anime. At the beginning of the story, we see a boy named Hibiki who is running away while chasing a rabbit. He doesn't understand how he even got there. Suddenly, he hears a voice saying that the rabbit is being appraised. The voice tells him that this monster is a horn rabbit, and it is level 1. Just then, the monster attacks him, but Hibiki dodges, and the horn rabbit crashes straight into his bag and dies instantly. Now the scene changes, and we see an elf girl walking in the forest. Suddenly, she hears a voice telling her to go east because there is something valuable waiting for her there. She wonders what that valuable thing could be, but suddenly the button of her chest breaks, and her belongings spill out. Now we go back to Hibiki, who takes out his phone, but there is no network. He wonders where he is and thinks if he can eat the rabbit. The system tells him that the rabbit is edible, so he puts it in his bag. Then the system appears again and starts explaining his bag. It says that the material this bag is made of doesn't even exist in this world. Seeing this, Hibiki thinks maybe he can appraise himself too. As soon as he says this, his status appears in front of him. He is 16 years old, and his job is Appraiser, but he still doesn't know where the voice is coming from. The system tells him that it is a status support. Hibiki checks his skill and sees he has Expert Eye, which sounds really cool, so he activates it, but nothing happens. Then Hibiki asks for a tutorial. The system activates a world map, but it shocks Hibiki because the map only shows lines. He decides to just keep walking straight. After walking for a long time, evening comes, and he finally finds a path. But suddenly, he loses his balance and falls down. Then he receives a title message, but before he can read it, a monster appears in front of him. Seeing this, Hibiki gets scared and realizes he has truly entered an isekai world. The monster is about to attack him, but suddenly that same elf girl appears and kills the monster. Hibiki feels relieved. The elf comes near him, but they can't understand each other's language, so the system activates Hibiki's skill so he can understand her. Hibiki thanks her for saving him. The elf introduces herself as Emilia. Hibiki also introduces himself. He notices her ears and asks if she is an elf. Emilia says yes. Hibiki says he understands. She must be cosplaying. Emilia doesn't understand what he means and asks what he was doing in the grass field. Hibiki says he just somehow ended up there. The system appraises Emilia and reveals her name is Emilia, she is an elf, and her chest size is 56. Hearing this, Hibiki gets shocked. Emilia explains that a dangerous monster is roaming nearby. It hides in the grass and doesn't attack directly. First, it observes people and then eats them. That means Hibiki was about to become its prey. Emilia tells him not to worry anymore, as he is safe now. She says he is just a child, but still did well, and hugs him. Hibiki asks how old she thinks he is, 10 or 11. Then he says he is actually 16, which shocks her. He learns that in this world, people become adults at 15. Hibiki shares the rabbit he caught, and they cook and eat it. After that, they drink tea. Hibiki asks about this world. Emilia says this place is called the Kingdom of Habrastia and asks if he really knows nothing about it. Hibiki explains that he came from a place called Japan, so he doesn't know anything. Emilia says she has never heard of Japan, but tells him not to worry. She will help him get back. Then they both go to sleep. Emilia thinks to herself that they just met, yet he trusted her so quickly. His clothes are also strange. Maybe he is the valuable thing the spirit told her about. Then we hear that mysterious voice again thanking someone for saving him. Next, we see Hibiki's past. He was sitting with his friends when one of his female friends brought him tea, and he really liked her. She tells him he's starting to talk like an adult. Hibiki says he is already an adult, just a bit short. Another friend, Ryuka, tells him not to worry. He's still growing and will get taller. The girl says she hasn't given up either. Hearing this, Hibiki looks at her, and she asks what he is staring at. They were talking about height, right? His friend jokes that everything looks fine to him and hints at something else. He also says Hibiki is quite handsome and popular. Girls like the bakery girl and convenience store girl treat him nicely. Then we see that his summer break was about to start. As he enters the classroom and opens the door, a bright light appears, and that's how he came to this world. Hibiki wakes up and realizes it was just a dream. He sees green particles floating around. The system tells him it is a magical barrier that alerts them if any monster approaches. Hibiki wonders how he will return to his real world. He checks his status again. His appraiser eye lets him identify anything. The next day, Amelia wakes up and sees Hibiki still sleeping. She thinks about how she spent the night with a boy and blushes. Then she notices her shirt button is broken. Hibiki wakes up and says, "Are you looking for this? I found it last night, and honestly, yours are quite big. I mean, your ears." Hearing this, Amelia gets angry and punches him. Next, they head toward a town called Lovell. Hibiki asks how long it will take. Amelia says after some travel it will take half a day. Hibiki asks if there are monsters nearby. Amelia says not to worry, she will handle them, but then asks how he knew. Hibiki says he has a world map skill. Hearing this, Amelia is shocked because it's a very rare skill. She asks his job, and he says appraiser. Amelia says it's actually very useful for survival. Adventurers would risk their lives for such a skill. Hibiki doesn't understand what adventurers are, so he asks the system. It explains that adventurers are contractors who kill monsters and collect materials. Amelia teases him for not knowing how to use his skill yet. Hibiki asks if she has any friends. She gets emotional but says yes. Hibiki says that means he is her friend now. Hearing this, she feels happy. Then Hibiki detects a crystal horn rabbit nearby. Amelia is shocked because they are rare and their horn is worth more than 200 gold coins. They approach it. Hibiki appraises it and finds it has an escape skill. Amelia says she will handle it and activates her power, making their sound and smell disappear. She praises Hibiki for his amazing skill. He says he can't fight, but she says he can guide teammates. She asks him to join her party, but he doesn't hear properly. Amelia thinks if she defeats it, he will join her. She prepares to attack. Hibiki asks how she will shoot without arrows. She says her job is spirit archer. She can create arrows from air. She fires, but the rabbit dodges using its escape skill. Amelia realizes they can't hit it unless it attacks. Hibiki suggests becoming bait. Amelia traps the rabbit with magic walls. Hibiki lies down, and when the rabbit attacks him, Amelia strikes and kills it in one hit. They succeed. Hibiki levels up. Amelia explains he gained experience because he helped. They finally obtain the crystal, but again, Amelia's button breaks, revealing her belongings. Then we see a man saying, "You've completed 2 missions. This is just the beginning. May blessings stay with you." Finally, we see a guild scene where a girl registers as an adventurer. The receptionist confirms her registration. The girl says she has already chosen her goal. She is searching for something special. In the next scene, we see that they both reach Rowell Town, where Amelia makes him wear some clothes because his clothes looked very strange. She says that according to your height, these are a bit big, but this will work for now. And when we sell this horn, we will buy proper clothes for you, and later some weapons and armor as well. She says that its value is around 200 gold coins. Hearing this, Hibiki asks the system how much 200 gold coins are worth. The system tells him that in his language, 1 gold coin is equal to 10,000 yen. And hearing this, he gets shocked. Now he understands why Amelia was so obsessed with this horn. Amelia says, "You should not be this naive. There are people here who will take advantage of you and loot you." In the next scene, they go to the Adventurers Guild, where some people say, "Did you form a party with him? Or are you doing a babysitting job?" Amelia says he is an adult and he is 16 years old. Just then, a man comes there and says, "Don't pay attention to them. They keep talking nonsense." And after saying this, he leaves. Amelia says his party name is Silver Banner. Now they go to the receptionist, whose name is Jewel. She asks, "What do you want to do?" Amelia says, "I want to sell an item. So can you take me to the guildmaster?" Now they go to the guildmaster, and here the guildmaster is flexing his body, seeing which Hibiki gets shocked. He says, "I trained a lot to build this body." Hibiki says, "Your body is amazing, bro. I mean, sir." Now they introduce themselves. The guildmaster's name is Deliard. Hibiki also tells his name and says, "It's nice to meet you." Jewel and Amelia were listening to their conversation, and seeing this, they get very angry and attack them with magic, and their condition becomes very bad. Then the system tells Hibiki that he has obtained a new skill. Now he can use water magic spells. Jewel says, "I am the guild receptionist and also the vice guild master." She asks Amelia what she wanted to sell. Amelia shows the rabbit's horn, and seeing this, Deliard gets shocked because the horn is very large. Amelia asks how much she will get for this. Deliard says he can give 400 gold coins. Hearing this, Hibiki becomes happy and thinks this is double of what Amelia expected, excited. She must be happy. But Amelia says, don't try to fool me. 3 years ago, this horn was sold for 230 gold coins, and this one is 3 times bigger than that. But you didn't even double the price, and since it is much bigger, its value should be around 800 gold coins. Hearing this, Hibiki gets shocked. Deliard says, we don't have that much money. Hearing this, Amelia starts laughing. Then Deliard says, okay, we will give 550 gold, but Amelia doesn't agree. She says 780 gold coins. Now they start bargaining. Deliard says 600 gold coins is a good price, but Amelia still refuses. Then Deliard says, fine, I will give 680 gold coins. I cannot pay more than that, but Amelia is still not satisfied. She says maybe I should sell it in the Capital Guild. They will give a better price. Hearing this, Deliard says, okay, I will give 700 gold coins. Amelia finally sells it. Jewel says our budget is ruined, but we had no other choice. I will deduct this money from your salary, and this is fair for someone who spends money without planning. Amelia becomes very happy and thinks that now he will definitely say, please let me join your party. And finally, her first party will be formed. While she was thinking this, her button breaks again, and her belongings become visible again. And seeing this, Jewel gets shocked and says, they are really big. Jewel says, we will talk about money transfer. So both of you go outside. In the next scene, we see Hibiki sitting somewhere. Then the system says, you have fulfilled the requirement for an inherent skill. Hearing this, he gets shocked and doesn't understand anything and asks, what is this? Then he hears a voice. It tells him that this skill is given to those people who cannot survive long in this world. Using this skill, he can directly ask for help from God. In this world, to survive, you need knowledge and skills. Hibiki says, oh, I see. Then again, he hears a voice. He looks around but sees no one. He thinks maybe it's his imagination. Then he says, this means this skill protects me, meaning I have God's blessings, because even that rabbit died by accident, and I got this horn too. And thinking this, he becomes happy. Then he hears that voice again saying, keep thanking me like this. It makes me want to work more. Hearing this, Hibiki gets shocked and asks, where is this voice coming from? The voice says, don't worry, I am a god. Hibiki says, I am talking to you directly. How is this possible? The voice says, I cannot always talk to you, and that is the problem. But I will try to help you, so take care of yourself and don't die. Hibiki says, wait. I want to ask some questions, but the system says your guide skill has ended, and hearing this, Hibiki doesn't understand anything. Then Amelia comes and says, sorry, I made you wait so long. Then a receptionist comes and tells Amelia that a quest has arrived for her. Amelia checks it and tells Hibiki that she is sorry, but she has to leave the city immediately because the quest came from her hometown, and she cannot refuse it, and she cannot take him with her. In the next scene, we see Abel, who says he is not here. Where is he? Then we see Hibiki, who says, you go to your town and don't worry about me. He thinks that she has already helped him a lot, so he doesn't want to become a burden. Amelia says she told Jewel to keep an eye on him, so there will be no problem. She asks what he will do next. Hibiki says he is thinking of becoming an adventurer because there are some missions he can complete. Amelia says, if you need a place to stay, you can stay where I stayed last night. This is the map of that place. And there you can meet a girl named Tanya. Hibiki says you can take your clothes back. Amelia says you can keep them, but Hibiki says I think you need them more, because if your button breaks again, you will need them. Hearing this, she runs away. While leaving, she thinks that she can't believe Hibiki saw that incident 3 times. While she was going, she collides with Abel. Amelia asks, are you okay? Abel says, yes, I am fine. I didn't get hurt much. Amelia says she is going to the kingdom of Fairmont. That's why she was running so fast. Hearing this, Abel becomes happy and says she is also going there. In the next scene, we see Hibiki, who says after Amelia left, he spent all his time sleeping. He says his phone battery has gone down and he doesn't even know how to return to his world. He asked the receptionist how to go to another world. And hearing this, Jewel gets embarrassed and tells him you will find that in the share. And hearing this, Hibiki gets happy. But when he goes there, it turns out to be something else. And you already understand what that means. Hibiki says he doesn't want people to doubt him, so he cannot tell them details about his world. Then Tanya comes and says it's dinner time, so come downstairs. Hibiki agrees. He says he needs to find work quickly because the money from the horn won't last long. But what should he do? Then the system suddenly shows his status. It tells him that his level is still low, so he should fight in a team. Then Hibiki sees he got another title called Older Lady Killer. The system tells him he got a new skill called Contract Air Magic Book. Hibiki says the magic book seems useful. The system says by reading it you can learn magic, and if you want to learn high-level magic, I will recommend all pages. After saying this, it uses magic, and all the pages of the book get memorized by Hibiki. In the next scene, we see Emilia and Abel reaching the elf kingdom. Another elf comes and says, "Finally, you arrived." Emilia says her name is Stylia, and she is their chief maid. In the next scene, we see Hibiki, whose book reading is complete. After that, he goes shopping and buys some clothes, then explores the city. Then we see a man arrives in very bad condition. He says he was attacked by a bullhorn monster and falls down. Another man is also badly injured. Jewel says there is no healer here. We should try another healing magic. Someone says they already tried, but it didn't work. Hibiki sees that a lot of blood is coming out, and if they don't stop it, he will die. He thinks maybe he can help using the magic book. The system says there is one chance to save him. Hibiki asks, "Can I examine him?" Someone asks, "Are you a healer?" Hibiki says he is an appraiser. Hearing this, a girl gets angry and says an appraiser cannot save him. Hibiki says, "But I have medical skills, so I thought I could help." Another man says, "Fine, if that's the case, then help us." Hibiki examines him and finds out that his body has a poison called Dirut poison, which comes from poisonous herbs. And because of this stopping, the bleeding is difficult, and he will only survive for 5 more minutes. Hibiki asks then, "How will I heal him?" The system says, since he has lost a lot of blood, you have to completely heal him and also restore his lost hand. It recommends using Hypercure and Perfect Heal, but for that, he needs 150 MP, and Hibiki only has 56 MP. People say that means you cannot save him. Hibiki says first we need to remove the poison, then heal his body. Is there anyone here who can use those spells? They say no. The system says he only has 4 minutes left. Hibiki says he knows how to heal him, but that's not enough. Is there another way? The system says you should use the technical skill contract. With this, you can borrow MP from nearby people for a short time and use it to heal him. Hibiki tells everyone to make a contract with him and give him their MP, because if he has enough MP, he can heal him. Everyone gets shocked but agrees and gives their MP, but it is still not enough. Then Jewel says, "Can I also help?" Hibiki agrees. She also gives her MP, and now Hibiki is ready. First, he uses Hypercure, which removes the poison. Then he uses Perfect Heal. We see a bright light, and the man is completely healed. Everyone becomes happy, but Hibiki gets exhausted and faints. Then he sees a dream where his mother is standing in front of him and says, "You always act without thinking. You jumped into a river to save a dog. There is no guarantee someone will always save you, so you should be careful." Then Hibiki wakes up and starts leveling up rapidly. Jewel comes and asks, "Are you okay?" Hibiki says yes. Jewel says, "You saved my younger brother's life, thank you." Hearing this, Hibiki gets shocked and says, "Was he really your brother? But he is human, and you are half beast." She says that's because they have different mothers. Jewel says she handled the matter, meaning no one outside will know what happened. Hibiki asks why she did that. She says because no one can use Hypercure and Perfect Heal together, and if people find out, they will exploit you to earn money. She suggests him to join an adventurer party so he can stay safe. Hibiki says he doesn't know if he should do that, but having friends or guards will help him since he is a non-combat person. Jewel says there is another option. You can hire a bodyguard. In the next scene, we see a jail where a wolf-like beast man is very angry, and a small girl is holding him. The beast man says, "Don't worry, whoever comes, I will kill them." So in the next scene, we see Hibiki going to a company so that he can hire some bodyguards. There we see a man whose name is Arajathan, and he starts showing Hibiki some bodyguards. But Hibiki doesn't like them. He says that he has no problem with their strength, but their MP is very low. The man replies that if he doesn't like them, he can show him some other people. Just then, Hibiki hears a voice saying that if he can't find a bodyguard, then he should find one himself. The man then asks Hibiki to clearly tell him what exactly he wants. He also says that he can smell a lot of money coming from him. Hearing this, Hibiki gets shocked and asks the system how he knew that. The system suggests that maybe he has some kind of skill. Hibiki then appraises him, but surprisingly, he doesn't have any visible skill. The man says he does have some other guards, but he doesn't recommend them because they have many flaws. He explains that they can neither fight properly nor work properly, and they also cannot return to their homeland. Hearing this, Hibiki relates to them and says that they are just like him. He asks the man to tell him more about them. The man gets happy and says he can now smell even more money from him, then asks Hibiki to follow him. Now Hibiki follows him, and they reach a jail, where we see that same wolf-like beast man and a small girl are locked up. Hibiki asks why they are imprisoned like this. The man explains that the beastman broke some rules while trying to protect the girl, so he was jailed, and the small girl has magical powers that she cannot control. The beastman angrily tells Hibiki to leave, calling him a kid. Hibiki gets scared, but then uses his appraisal skill. However, the beastman's skills are hidden, so he cannot see them. The system tells him to use Expert Eye, and after using it, Hibiki finally sees his status. He learns that the beastman is actually a former hero, and he is shocked. He also sees that the beastman is under a curse called Immovable Chain. Hibiki decides to check that later. Then he appraises the small girl and finds out that she is a sage, and she has a skill called Raging Sanctuary, which she cannot control. Hibiki wonders why such a powerful skill was given to such a small girl, and suddenly the god replies that he was just testing her. Now Hibiki thinks that both of them have good MP, so they would be perfect as his bodyguards. The system suggests using a technical skill called Relief Measures to remove the curse. Hearing this, Hibiki tells the man that he wants to buy both of them, which shocks him. In the next scene, Hibiki takes them to an empty field. The beastman warns him that if he harms the girl, he will kill him. We see that the beastman doesn't even have both arms and one leg, yet he is still so confident. Hibiki says he won't harm them, he just wants to heal him. He tells the girl that her name is Lillian and asks for her help. Lillian agrees, but the beastman warns her that it might be a trap. However, Lillian says that he has always protected her, and now it's her turn to help him. Hibiki explains that he needs a lot of MP to heal him, so he will make a contract with her to borrow her MP. She agrees. After getting the MP, Hibiki first uses Perfect Heal, and the beastman's limbs get restored. Seeing this, Lillian becomes very happy and hugs him. Then Hibiki says that he knows about his curse. The beastman gets shocked and asks how he knows that. Hibiki explains that he has a skill that lets him see such things. The beastman is surprised because that's a very rare ability. Hibiki then tries to remove the curse. Suddenly, a strong negative aura appears. Chains form around his hands, and a scissor-like attack strikes the beastman. This breaks some of the curse, and the beastman regains some of his strength. Even Hibiki is surprised that it worked like that. The beastman thanks him and apologizes for his rude behavior. Then he says he wants to offer his loyalty through a ceremony of allegiance. Hibiki doesn't understand, so the beastman explains that it's a contract where someone dedicates their soul and loyalty to another person. Hibiki asks if he's sure, and he agrees. Then Hibiki performs the contract magic. The beastman introduces himself as Cloud Abras and declares Hibiki as his master. After accepting, a symbol appears on both of their hands, showing their bond. Cloud tells him to call him just Cloud. In the next scene, we see Emilia heading toward her kingdom, but her maid gets very tired. Emilia suggests stopping at a hot spring to rest. The maid gets excited, but then notices Abel and suggests skipping it because she doesn't want a stranger to see Emilia like that. But Emilia doesn't listen. Now we return to Hibiki, who is sitting with his new companions. The system tells him that his skills have leveled up. Cloud then asks who he keeps talking to. Hibiki explains that it's a system that helps him. Cloud gets surprised and asks if he has a tutorial skill, and Hibiki confirms. Cloud says that means he's from another world. Hibiki gets surprised and asks how he knows. Cloud says he doesn't know much, but such things do happen. Lillian asks what isekai means, and Cloud explains that Hibiki is from a very far place. Hibiki asks if it bothers him, but Cloud says no because Hibiki saved them, and now he is his master. We then learn that Cloud also knows about the skill that allows communication with God. Hibiki is surprised and wonders if it's actually common. As they walk, Cloud explains that there are 11 gods in this world, and the one who summoned Hibiki is the strongest, as only that god can give expert eye and tutorial skill. Hibiki feels happy hearing that. Then he tells Lillian not to use her her skill yet because she cannot control it, and it could harm her. Hearing this, she becomes sad. Suddenly, another god appears, the god of magic, and starts beating the god who summoned Hibiki. It even feels like he might be in love with her. Then she talks to Hibiki and gives him a new skill that will allow him to protect Lillian when she uses her power. Hibiki feels very happy. But then she scolds the other god for giving Hibiki too many abilities and temporarily restricts some of his skills, including Expert Eye. Hibiki gets confused, but she thinks she has seen him somewhere before. Then Hibiki uses the new skill, and suddenly a cat appears. The cat introduces herself as Vane and says she was sent by the god of magic to teach him how to control magic. The cat looks very cute, so Lillian starts feeding her. Hibiki also plays with her, which makes Cloud jealous because he's also an animal, but doesn't get that kind of attention. The cat gets scared when Cloud growls at her. Then we see Amelia again at the hot spring, where her maid is staring only at her body. Amelia asks what her father wanted to talk about, but the maid says she doesn't know. Amelia tries to be friendly with Abel and offers to wash her back, but the maid says that won't make them friends. Abel hears this and agrees to help instead. The next scene, we see Hibiki looking at Cloud, who gets fully ready with his armor, but instead of a sword, he is actually holding a spear. Seeing this, Hibiki says that he always thought heroes usually fight using swords. Hearing that, Cloud replies that he is much better with a spear than a sword. Then Hibiki asks about his armor, and Cloud explains that this armor protects him from normal attacks. However, if he wears too much equipment, he starts feeling extremely hot, so he prefers to keep it light. After that, we see all of them casually joking around and enjoying the moment. In the next scene, we see Hibiki taking Lillian shopping. She tries on different clothes and asks him how she looks. Hibiki immediately tells her that she looks very beautiful. Just then, the shopkeeper says that the clothes cost 25 gold coins. Hearing this, both of them are shocked. Cloud, on the other hand, gets angry and says, "What did you say? 25 gold coins? That's actually pretty cheap." After that, Hibiki ends up buying the clothes, but Lillian feels very sad because she thinks Hibiki had to spend his money because of her. However, Hibiki reassures her and says that her happiness is more important than money for him. Then he tells her that she can also choose a weapon if she wants. And hearing this, Lillian becomes very happy. At the same time, Hibiki starts thinking in his mind that if they don't complete a mission soon, they will go completely broke. Just then, Ven says that since Hibiki is buying things for everyone, he should buy something for her too. After that, Hibiki buys something for Ven as well, but it turns out to be very expensive, and because of that, all his money gets completely used up. In the next scene, we see Ven looking very happy after buying that item. She then says that now it's time to start Lillian's magic training. Hibiki also says that they need to earn money as soon as possible. Just then, Ven throws a stone at Hibiki and says that it's fine for Cloud since he is a hero, but both of them lack the basic qualities of adventurers. She explains that before learning magic, they need to understand the basics first and tells them to show their grimoire. Hearing this, Hibiki gets confused about what a grimoire is, and at that moment, his system activates and explains that it is a technical skill, which is very rare and has a AA rank. With this ability, he can gain different types of knowledge, including magical abilities that exist in this world. Hearing this, Hibiki becomes very happy and realizes that he can also learn magic. However, Ven tells him that for now, he can only learn basic household magic. Hearing this, Hibiki gets shocked. Then Ven says that she is a great beast, created by the god of magic, and during training, he must call her master. After that, she says they will first control Lillian's magic. She starts explaining that Lillian has a huge amount of MP, but currently it has dropped to around 10%. However, with training, it can increase again. Then she explains the concept of magic circulation, where two people hold each other's hands and observe the flow of magic, and by controlling that flow, they can use magic properly. But Hibiki doesn't understand anything, and seeing this, Ven gets angry and calls him an idiot. After that, Hibiki starts training with Cloud. Cloud tells him to focus his mind, but Hibiki asks how exactly he is supposed to do that, which surprises them. Then Ven tells him to close his eyes and focus on a single point. After that, Cloud sends his magic into Hibiki's body, but he sends too much magic, causing Hibiki to lose consciousness. We then see Hibiki reaching a completely different place. There, he sees an elf who asks Cloud why he looks so surprised. At that moment, Hibiki realizes that he has actually become Cloud. After that, he goes and sits beside the elf and they start talking. We find out that she used to be Cloud's partner and that she was the one who taught him everything about becoming a hero, which is why Cloud trusted her deeply. But suddenly, the scene changes, and we see the elf cutting off Cloud's arm. Seeing this, Cloud becomes extremely angry. At that exact moment, Hibiki wakes up. However, he still feels like he is Cloud. Then Cloud tells him that he is Hibiki, his master, and hearing this, Hibiki finally remembers his own identity. Ven then explains that this happened because Cloud sent too much magic into him, which caused him to enter Cloud's consciousness. She then asks if he saw anything from Cloud's memories. Hibiki replies that he saw something terrible, but he cannot clearly remember it. In the next scene, we see Hibiki practicing household magic. He is cleaning the house and explains that household magic helps in daily chores. To learn it, one needs spirit energy. When someone releases their magic while doing household work, water and fire spirits gather that energy, and that's how household magic is learned. While Hibiki is training, Cloud and Lillian arrive and accidentally spill water. Hibiki calmly says it's fine and that he will clean it. He then uses his magic and cleans everything perfectly, making the entire house shine. Seeing this, Tanya becomes very happy and says that she might give him something. However, she was actually referring to giving him an extra dish of food. As they are about to go eat, Cloud accidentally spills water again, and this time, he gets extremely nervous. In the next scene, we see Lillian practicing her magic. Meanwhile, Cloud tells Hibiki to do some practical training and gives him a bow, asking him to aim properly. However, Hibiki doesn't even know how to use a bow correctly and keeps missing his target, which makes him feel very disappointed. After that, they take a short break, and we see that Hibiki's hands have developed blisters. But Cloud refuses to take a break and says that since he has a magical book, he should use it to heal himself. After that, they start training again. Hibiki is already very tired and wants a small break, but Cloud continues training him without stopping. In the next scene, we see Amelia, who is still traveling toward her kingdom. She wonders what Hibiki might be doing right now and feels happy thinking about him. Her maid notices her expression and asks if something happened, but Amelia simply says it's nothing. After that, they reach a place where Amelia says that it is a shortcut, but they should not go that way. Seeing this, Evel asks why they can't use the shortcut. Amelia explains that there is a ruined fortress there, and ghosts live in that place who trouble travelers. Hearing this, Evel gets excited and says that such places usually have treasure, so they should go there. Amelia also agrees because she is short on money, and after that, they head toward that location. In the next scene, we see Hibiki cooking food, while Lillian is practicing magic. She keeps circling around him and asks if she can help. Hibiki agrees and asks her to pass him some salt. After that, she helps him with cooking, and when she tastes the food, she really likes it. Soon, the food is fully prepared. Hibiki has cooked a variety of dishes, including horn rabbit meat, mushrooms, and vegetables. Seeing this, everyone becomes very happy and enjoys the food. However, when Hibiki tastes it himself, he feels that something is wrong. He asks Cloud if he cleaned everything properly, and then remembers that he gave him apples to cut. We then see that Cloud ruined all the apples and apologizes for it. Hibiki then says that Cloud's cooking level is completely zero. Hearing this, Cloud feels very bad and says that it might be because of his curse, and once it is removed, he will be able to do everything properly. Hibiki says he is waiting for that day, and Lillian also agrees. Both of them start teasing Cloud. Then Hibiki asks who gave him that curse, but Cloud replies that he doesn't know. In the next scene, we see Hibiki collecting water from the river. He says that he needs to find a way to return to his original world. At that moment, his system tells him that he has learned Bubble Wash, which makes him very happy. But then the system warns him about danger and tells him to activate his world map skill immediately. Hibiki activates it and sees that a monster called Rushing Boar is heading toward them. In the next scene, Cloud gets ready to fight the boar. He attacks it with his spear, and with just one powerful strike, the monster is defeated instantly. Everyone becomes very happy seeing this. Cloud then says that the blood might attract other monsters, so they need to handle it quickly. Ven tells Lillian that this is a good opportunity for her. Lillian then uses her water magic and cleans all the blood. After that, Cloud says that now they will learn how to butcher monsters. The scene then shifts to Amelia, who has reached the ruined fortress. Amelia and Stelia go ahead to search for treasure, while Evel uses her magic and senses many spirits in that place. Suddenly, Amelia finds a huge amount of treasure and becomes extremely excited. Meanwhile, Stelia is doing something strange. When evil reaches them, she realizes that everything is just an illusion. She immediately attacks to bring them back to their senses. The scene then returns to Hibiki and the others, who have finished butchering the boar. Their clothes are completely dirty. Seeing this, Hibiki says that now he can use bubble wash. Hearing this, Cloud and the others get scared, wondering what kind of experiment their master is going to perform. Then Hibiki uses bubble wash on Cloud, and we see that instantly all the dirt disappears and Cloud becomes completely clean. He feels extremely refreshed after that. In the next scene, we see everyone sitting together in one place. Hibiki says that they now have very little money left. Hearing this, Cloud says that they already spent almost all their savings, and now they should finally start taking missions from the guild. Then Cloud adds that if they want to become adventurers, they will have to start from F rank. In the next scene, we see Hibiki registering his party at the guild. The receptionist smiles and says she is happy that Hibiki finally found some companions. Just then, Cloud walks toward her carrying a huge pile of quests. Seeing that, Hibiki gets shocked and asks, "What are all these?" Cloud calmly replies, "If we only take low-paying quests, then we'll need to complete a lot more of them to earn enough money." At that moment, they notice another special quest posted by the royal capital. The receptionist explains that a group of bandits has been robbing rich people recently. After that, we see Hibiki hunting a horn rabbit. He eventually manages to kill it, but we also see that he wasted a huge number of arrows just to defeat one monster. Right then, Lillian and Vinay arrive carrying baskets filled with herbs, and inside the basket there are also several strange fruits. Seeing them, Hibiki asks, "Did you get these from the trees?" Lillian explains that those are mechikachi fruits, which are used as markers. She throws one fruit at a tree, and instantly a visible mark appears on the bark. Then Hibiki quietly says that he actually arrived in this world before summer break, and before that, all his friends were planning to go somewhere together. He starts wondering how he can ever return to his own world again, and realizes he needs to seriously find a solution. The scene shifts again, and now we see Amelia traveling near the border of the elf country. Amelia says that they will soon arrive at the elf kingdom. Meanwhile, Evel keeps thinking to herself that she still hasn't found any clue about where that woman's soul disappeared. Suddenly, Amelia gives Evel a friendship amulet as a gift. She explains that if Evel ever gets into danger, the spirits will immediately inform her, and she will come to help. Evel thanks her politely, but inside her mind she thinks that it looks like she'll have to continue pretending to be friends for a little longer. The scene switches back to Hibiki. He happily says that today they should eat something delicious because they earned a good amount of money after completing their quests. Just then, Deliard suddenly arrives. He proudly says that he just returned from the royal capital, and now he will train them to gain muscles and become stronger. Hearing that, Cloud says that he already trains Hibiki himself. But Deliard looks at Hibiki and says, "This guy barely has any muscles. There's no way he'll become powerful like this." Cloud immediately replies, "Too many muscles only slow down movement." Hearing that, Deliard stares at him and says, "Are you slightly insane?" And just like that, the two of them suddenly start fighting. Cloud attacks first using his spear, but Deliard easily blocks it. Then Deliard swings his sword toward Cloud, but Cloud dodges the attack and punches him directly in the face. However, Deliard doesn't seem affected at all. Soon, both of them continue exchanging attacks non-stop, and the people nearby begin running away in fear. At the same time, we also notice a mysterious girl quietly watching the fight from a distance. Meanwhile, Hibiki checks Deliard's status using Appraisal and gets shocked after discovering that Deliard is extremely strong and already level 79. The fight between the two still continues, but suddenly Jewel arrives and angrily attacks both of them using magic. Right then, Hibiki realizes his bag is missing. His face instantly turns pale because all his money was inside that bag. Seeing his reaction, Jewel says that this is probably the work of those bandits who always target wealthy-looking people. Vinay suddenly says that she has a plan. In the next scene, we see everyone entering a restaurant. Hibiki is now disguised as a girl, and surprisingly, he looks incredibly cute. They order pancakes, and Lillian happily says, "You honestly look adorable." Even Hibiki's system agrees and says that Lillian is correct. Vinay then explains the plan. They will use Hibiki as bait, and the moment the thieves try to rob him, Cloud will capture them instantly. At the same time, Cloud looks especially angry because someone dared to steal his master's money. Hibiki nervously asks, "Will this plan really work?" Elsewhere, the god of magic is secretly watching Hibiki. She quietly thinks to herself, "Why does it feel like I've seen him somewhere before?" But no matter how much she tries, she cannot remember. Back at the restaurant, the pancakes finally arrive. Both Hibiki and Lillian become extremely happy after seeing them. But just as Hibiki takes his first bite, Cloud suddenly says, "That waitress was the thief!" At that moment, Hibiki's purse has already disappeared. The scene shifts to the waitress, and we learn that she really was the thief. She smirks and says, "That was way too easy." Immediately, everyone begins chasing after her. After some time, they arrive at a strange underground area filled with unconscious people lying around carelessly. As they move deeper inside, they notice several suspicious-looking people sitting nearby, all of them clearly resembling thieves. Hibiki becomes shocked because this entire place exists underground like a hidden criminal city. Just then, one man walks up to Hibiki and says, "Hey, cutie, wanna have dinner with me?" Hibiki immediately refuses. Then a woman approaches Hibiki, and Cloud quickly says, "Appraise her." The woman quietly walks away, but right then, Cloud suddenly appears directly in front of her. The girl asks, "Do you have some kind of problem?" Hibiki immediately replies, "Return what you stole." The girl pretends not to understand and says, "What are you talking about?" Hibiki confidently says, "I know you're the thief because I'm an appraiser." The girl laughs and asks if he's joking. Then Hibiki reveals her identity. "Fauna, you're the half-beast-man bandit who possesses the tail transformation skill." Hearing that, Fauna removes her hood and openly admits that she really is the bandit. She smirks and says, "You tried to trick me using a fake wallet, but I already stole the real one." We then learn that she intentionally led them into this underground place because she had already prepared a trap for them. Suddenly, a large number of girls fall from above toward Hibiki, but Cloud quickly pushes him away and saves him. Then Cloud tells Hibiki to chase after Fauna while he handles everything else. However, as soon as Hibiki follows her, he accidentally falls into another trap. Fauna laughs and says, "I never expected an appraiser to fall for my trap so easily." At that moment, she finally realizes that Hibiki is actually a boy. Hibiki explains that he disguised himself only to capture her. Fauna then stares at him carefully and says that he looks surprisingly cute. She offers to help him, but in exchange, she wants him to appraise something for her. In the next scene, both of them enter a bar. Fauna shows Hibiki a gemstone and asks about it. Hibiki appraises it and explains that it is a highly pure colored gemstone passed down through generations of a wealthy family. Then she shows him a necklace. Hibiki says that it's actually a wooden bracelet, and its design is something beastmen have loved since ancient times because it represents blessings and deep affection. Suddenly, Hibiki notices a hidden message carved inside it. Fauna quickly asks, "What does it say?" Hibiki quietly replies, "It says, thank you." Hearing that, Fauna softly smiles and explains that her little sister gave her that bracelet long ago. She says there was always something written on it, but she could never read it. She had shown it to many appraisers before, but none of them could understand the words. But somehow, you managed to read it. And maybe you even understood the emotions inside it. Hibiki then asks, "Does your sister know that you're a thief?" Fauna's expression suddenly changes. She's already dead. She got caught in a battle involving our family. Then Fauna asks Hibiki where his home is. She quietly tells him that if he still has a home to return to, then he should definitely go back. But if he lost his home like she did, then returning becomes impossible. She also mentions that one member of Hibiki's party is a beast man too, and if he came from the same place as her, then his past is probably very painful as well. After saying that, she returns Hibiki's wallet. "Your appraisal skills are honestly amazing." Then suddenly, she kisses him before leaving. After that, Hibiki returns home, where Tanya notices the kiss mark on him and starts cleaning it off. Meanwhile, Deliard says that he heard from the capital's Adventurer Guild about a young and energetic party that has been leveling up incredibly fast. Because of that, the king personally gave them the mission of exterminating undead monsters. That party's name is the corpse killers. Hearing this, Hibiki asks what undead monsters actually are. Cloud explains that undead are monsters that continue moving even after death, almost as if they were still alive. Deliard adds that the corpse killers are currently traveling from west to east, so there's a chance they may arrive in their country soon. Later that night, everyone returns to their rooms and starts talking about everything that happened during the day. Hibiki says that during his journey, he wants to meet many different people. Cloud asks, "What kind of people?" Hibiki replies that he wants to meet wise and knowledgeable individuals. Cloud then says that he probably means sages. Right now, the most famous one is the Sage of the Three Worlds, also known as the Great Sage, who has apparently lived for over 500 years. Cloud then asks why Hibiki wants to meet a sage so badly. After a moment of silence, Hibiki finally says, "Because I want to return to my own world." Hearing that, both Cloud and Lillian become shocked. Lillian asks him, "Will you really leave us someday?" Hearing her words, even Hibiki himself starts wondering whether he truly wants to leave everyone behind. Then, Cloud gently explains to Lillian that Hibiki never came to this world by choice, so wanting to return home is completely natural. After that, Cloud looks toward Hibiki and says, "Master, don't worry. Until the day you return to your world, I will protect you." The scene changes once again, and now we see Amelia and Evil arriving deep inside the forest. Amelia says that the people they're waiting for should arrive soon because the spirits informed her about it. Evil comments that this ability sounds extremely convenient, but Amelia explains that the spirits only answer when she asks them questions. However, there was one time when a spirit talked to her on its own and warned her that something important existed inside the forest. Then Amelia suddenly mentions that the voice sounded very strange. Evil immediately asks where she heard that voice. Amelia replies, "In the forest of Rowell." The moment Evil hears those words, her expression changes completely. She quickly says that she suddenly remembered something important and immediately starts leaving. Inside her mind, she thinks, if that voice wasn't from a spirit, then it must have been that woman's soul.